The guac does look bad, but it tastes good. But this is the perfect bite. This is definitely in the top 5 ugliest things I've ever made. But it is good. Do I want this? No. Okay. Hello, it is the next day. I wanted to just have a moment to catch up and chill because I feel like right now, like my platforms are kind of all over the place because my favorite platform to post on right now is TikTok. I just really like how I can pick up the camera and post whenever I want. And I like to have my YouTube videos kind of feel like that as well. But the longer form content has been a little bit more difficult for me recently because I've just been like depressed and it's just takes more time. And it feels like it's not as kind of up to date as TikTok is. And then Instagram is like such an afterthought for me these days. It feels more like an obligation than anything else. But I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. Anyway, I feel like it has been a while since we've just like talked, and I asked like, I don't know, I put like a question box up on Instagram a few weeks ago. Naturally, like 3 people only answered things, so I just thought I wanted to take an opportunity to do kind of like a life update, like mental health update, and specifically talk about like how to overcome feelings of failure, inadequacy, just like life, and how to just overcome adversity and yeah, kind of just like catch up a little bit because something that I have not really fully articulated even in the last year was just like the documentation of quitting my full-time job. It's been really hard to be like online. And it's always been hard to be online. It's not easy to be online, but like to be online in so many different platforms when there's so many different like formats to fit and formulas to follow and trends to keep up with, that I feel like, is someone calling me? Oh, my mom. Kudos to all fellow content creators is just what I'm trying to say. So basically, I just feel like I've never really like talked about what it was like to quit my job and like pursue acting. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and I've been in like the thick of it. And I almost had like an intervention with Nick a few weeks ago where he was like, are you happy now? Like, I know that acting is what you want to do, and I know that like you are feeling kind of like unsatisfied in where you've been, but he's like, you know, all of that aside, all things considered, are you happy right now? And I literally burst into tears because I was like, no. And that was only a few weeks ago. I feel like since then, I've been really, really working on myself to be more present. But I totally feel like ever since I quit my job last April, I have not like picked my head up out of the sand to even see where I've been going. But the thing is, I thought that I have been. I thought that I have been really intentional. And like that's nothing against me and it's not like a bad thing, but I think I put so much pressure on myself to like make it in this time frame that I allowed for myself that it of course is just going to set me up for this inevitable feeling of like defeat and failure when, surprise surprise, my savings are running out and I'm needing to look for another job right now. So here I am, like almost a year later, sitting down in front of the camera telling you guys, yeah, I have to look for a job again because I need to pay for rent. And it's like embarrassing. There's a lot of feelings of shame tied to that. I've always been the kind of person who's like prided myself on setting my mind to something and then actually doing it and seeing it through. And this feels like one of the only times in my life when it actually hasn't happened. So I feel like I took a chance on myself and then I became a failed bet. And that is kind of like how I've been feeling for months and months and months. And I've just like never articulated it. Or maybe I have in like little pieces here and there, but like unless you're watching me on every single platform, like you're getting all of these little pieces of like information. But I feel like, you know, it's just so nuanced. And it's easy to think that you know someone like 100% when you're watching all their content. But again, like unless you're like literally following the ins and outs, like you'll never piece together person that you think that you're watching. And even when you do watch all of those things, you're never going to piece that, because there is some semblance of like curation. There's the ability to edit out anything we want to edit out. I could easily edit out this rant, but I really don't want to, because I just owe it to myself. I owe it to you guys. And I don't know, I'm like so sick of seeing the overly curated content online where I'm like, this isn't real. This isn't real life. And it sucks, because sometimes I feel that green monster coming out, and I'm like, she needs to be tamed, this green monster of mine, because she is comparing herself to curated content and curated lives. And that's just not interesting to me. I don't like consuming that content. Why would I produce it? And I feel like that's also been when I like my hesitation, or I guess like I'm not uploading as frequently as I once was, is because when I do it, I want to be 100% present and 100% real. And I don't, it just doesn't sit well with me to watch these like curated things. It's beautiful. And at a time, it really motivated me. And I really enjoyed watching that. Oh my God. I really enjoyed watching that for a period of time. But now I'm like, this is just so not real. And I just want to know the real people, and that's who I also want to like surround myself with. And it's nothing against those creators, and I don't even have creators that come to mind when I'm talking about it. I'm just more focused on the creators I do enjoy watching, and I want to be that. Like, I want to be the person that you can look at and be like, that's real fucking life. And that's it now. I'm applying to jobs on Indeed. It's been going terribly because these companies think that they can pay you $18 to $20 an hour to like be perpetually online, which is like one thing if the job ended there. But if you're in social media, you know that there are so many hours that are like unbilled. And a lot of why I ended up quitting in April was because of just complete burnout from being online for like 7 years, creating content for other people. And I've always felt like I was put on the back burner, and I needed to see what it was like to put myself on the front burner to learn balance and boundaries. And now I feel like I've learned that. So I know better how to support myself as Emma the actor, Emma the YouTuber, Emma the TikToker, Emma the girlfriend, best friend, daughter, and also be able to balance Emma the social media content creator, manager, coordinator, whatever, video editor. I don't know. I'm like everything right now. I'm like, whatever anyone needs, I will do. I am so fucking broke. And that is like so stressful. So anyway, Nick was like, are you happy? And I call it the intervention because I swear to God, ever since we had that conversation, I read a book. I have stopped mindlessly doom scrolling at night on TikTok specifically. I feel like I've been putting out the most authentic content I have been ever producing just from that conversation, just from picking my head up out of the sand and realizing like what direction I was trying to go in. I really, really appreciate Nick. I know I don't show him on my vlogs as much, but like he is the most supportive partner, the best friend I've ever had. He is such a good influence on me, and I hope like I'm like a semblance of like I hope I have a semblance of good influence on him because he's just an amazing person, and I really needed to hear that. I needed someone to like look at me and say like and like challenge me and like cuz up until then I thought that I was smooth coasting. I thought that it was all, you know, hippity hop. Really, I was like suffering in silence, and all the while, I mean, you guys, I'm not shy about this, but I've been battling with an eating disorder for as long as I can remember, and it really did come back up for me during the pandemic, so I'm still trying to like work through that. And this is not a pity party. This is like, I'm just wanting to share this because I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. But also the feelings of failure and inadequacy because I'm an artist who once quit my job to pursue acting full time and now I have to work again. Like, I just want to empower other artists who are in a similar position as me. Like, we're not failures because we have to find a job. We just have to pay for rent, and that's okay. But what I want to encourage us to do is find gigs that won't burn us out so that we can be 100% present in our art and give that to ourselves and give us the ability to really pursue that, because acting is all I want to do for the rest of my life. Period. Like, I love telling stories. I love healing through art, and I love healing through stories, and I want to be able to give that cathartic feeling to other people and tell stories that unite us and make us feel less alone and make us feel heard. Yeah, it brings me to tears when I think about that. That's how much I love acting, and that's like all I want to do. We knew I was gonna cry at some point. Come on, we're talking about my dream here. It's not, we didn't fail because we have to find another job. That's just what I want to say and offer. I'm sure you can tell, like, I hold myself to a very high standard. I'm very much a perfectionist, and that's something that I'm trying to lean away from and just find more like grace and flexibility. I have ADHD, and a lot of that comes from my impulse control, and that's in like physical things, like doing things physically and like saying things impulsively, but it also comes from like thoughts that can cause me to spiral. And I really like to articulate these feelings because then it gives them less power, but then it also helps maybe make you feel less alone too. And that's why I love this platform. And that's why I like to post on this platform, is because I, just like with acting and telling stories, like I'm telling my story now in the hopes that maybe you'll find it cathartic to see someone who's going through similar struggles and can just like relate to that. Because like, I don't know, I'm put on this earth to be in the present and not only just think about the future. And I was 100% only thinking about the future and was just wiping myself out from it. I know that I had mentioned wanting to pull up some like questions that I got on Instagram, but honestly, like I've been talking for 11 minutes straight and I fully do not plan on cutting this much. So I might just spare you the rant and instead ask you to just do something nice for yourself today. And by rant, I mean answering questions. But I just want to encourage you to do something nice for yourself today, whether it's like buying a nice little juice or a face mask or just going for a little mental health walk or taking an hour out of your day to declutter a space in your apartment that you know you've been needing to declutter. I plan on filming a few more TikToks, and then I actually need to get some work done. I have found a few like freelance, very, very part-time gigs recently, but nothing long-term, so that's kind of what I'm on the hunt for. So I'll keep you guys posted. I was filming this on my camcorder, so sometimes there's this weird like audio that'll come in, like the clicking autofocus of it, but I don't know, I love it. It feels like an old-time movie, and that's why I love using my little camcorder. So yeah. Also, it just like feels like maybe this is a little form of like a podcast, just video diary. I recently switched, so all of my vlogs that are kind of this style are called my digital archive, because I feel like that's the most accurate reflection. Like, this is essentially my video diary, and I want to treat it as such. And of course, intersperse it with fashion content, because it just makes me so happy to, like, play dress up. And that's just, like, what I love doing. So, I hope you guys are doing well, and I literally think about you all the time, and I know I say this a lot, but, like, you help me feel less alone, too. Which is really nice because sometimes I don't necessarily feel seen like in real life. Me getting emotional again. So it's just nice to have this little community of people who are very like-minded, very open-minded and empathetic and just like badass as hell. So yeah, thank you too, because you help me feel way less alone. Tattoo update, she's kind of bleeding a bit, but I'm hoping it's just her recovering and not being blown out on my arm. Love that. Love you guys. Thanks for watching this very random video. I just want to encourage you to like give yourself grace, because we're not failures. We're just getting started. We are young, wild, and free. Thanks, Wiz Khalifa. Okay, bye.